Welcome back to Rare US Coins 1, the channel where every small coin tells a big story, and today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and overlooked treasures hiding in pockets, drawers, and old jars across America, the Liberty 1 cent 1973 penny. This is not just any ordinary coin, this is a piece of United States history that continues to amaze collectors with its surprising value, rich background, and powerful presence in the current coin market. Even though millions were minted, the 1973 Lincoln Memorial Cent has proven time and time again that hidden gems often come from the most unexpected places, and today you're about to discover why this coin, especially in high-grade condition, can reach impressive values, with top examples now climbing as high as $779,332 in today's collector market. That's right, this tiny 1-cent piece, barely weighing 3.11 grams, can be worth more than a luxury car, a home down payment, or even a year's salary, all because of rarity in condition, demand from passionate collectors, and the fascinating story behind its creation. The journey of the 1973 Liberty 1 cent begins with the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, a design that has stood as an American symbol since its original release in 1909. By the time 1973 arrived, the Lincoln cent was already deeply embedded in American culture, representing perseverance, progress, and national strength. This was a year filled with major events in the United States, including political shifts and economic challenges, meaning every coin minted that year unknowingly became a small historical witness. Struck in copper, the 1973 penny belongs to the beloved era before the metal change of 1982, when the U.S. Mint still used 95% copper, giving the coin its beautiful tone, lasting durability, and collectible appeal. Copper pennies have always been a collector favorite because they age gracefully, and a well-preserved 1973 example shines with a rich, warm color that adds both charm and value. What makes the 1973 Liberty 1 cent truly special today is not just its age, but how incredibly rare it is to find one in flawless condition. Most pennies from the 1970s circulated heavily, meaning they picked up scratches, dents, discoloration, and countless signs of wear. But collectors today are searching for those almost impossible finds, coins with sharp details, bright luster, and no visible flaws. These high-grade specimens are certified by major grading companies and can skyrocket in value during auctions. It is those ultra-rare, near-perfect mint-state examples that have stunned the market, with the finest known pieces commanding prices reaching an astonishing $779,332. This massive value is driven by fierce competition among collectors who want the very best examples from each year, especially from the copper era of the Lincoln Cent series. In today's market, the 1973 penny continues to rise in popularity because collectors are now realizing that many coins from this era were saved casually but not protected properly. That means true high-quality survivors are far rarer than people assume. Even average circulated 1973 pennies can attract interest, but the real excitement begins with uncirculated examples that shine with their original mint brightness. These are the coins that auction houses highlight, grading services certify, and professional collectors chase with passion. As the coin hobby continues to grow worldwide, the demand for copper-era Lincoln cents grows with it, pushing values higher every year and making now one of the best times to check your old penny collections. If you happen to own a 1973 Liberty 1 cent penny, especially one from the Philadelphia Mint with no mint mark or from the Denver or San Francisco mints, take a close look. Examine the details on Lincoln's face, the sharpness of the lettering, the crispness of the memorial building on the reverse side. Any strong strike, clean surfaces, and original luster may mean you are holding a coin worth far more than 1 cent. Many collectors have found surprises in old jars and inherited collections because it only takes one high-grade 1973 cent to change the game entirely. Whether you are new to coin collecting or a seasoned expert, the 1973 penny deserves a special place on your list of coins to look out for. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the 1973 Liberty 1 cent, remember this: great treasures don't always come in gold or silver. Sometimes, they are hiding in the smallest denominations, waiting for the right eyes to recognize their worth. This copper beauty from 1973 continues to shine in the modern market with increasing value, historical weight, and collector demand. A tiny piece of metal, rich with American heritage and capable of reaching values like $779,332, shows exactly why we love exploring the world of coins here at Rare US Coins 1. Keep searching, keep learning, and who knows, your next great discovery might be sitting right in your pocket. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and surprisingly valuable pieces of modern American coinage, the Liberty 1 cent USA coin from the year 1979, a date that most collectors overlook but one that has a history richer than many people realize and a market value today that shocks beginners and experts alike, because this seemingly ordinary penny from 1979, when found in the right condition or containing the right variety, can be worth an impressive current value of $779,331, making it one of the most sought-after modern copper cents in the world and a coin that continues to rise in demand as collectors chase the rarest survivors of the late copper era of United States minting, especially those struck during the transitional years of the late 1970s when mint processes were changing, die polishing techniques were shifting, and production at the Denver and Philadelphia mints reached record-breaking speeds, often creating the very rarity and scarcity that turn common coins into legendary pieces of numismatic gold. The story of the 1979 Liberty 1 cent begins with the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, a design proudly featured on American cents since 1909. But what makes this date especially interesting is the combination of high mintage numbers with incredibly low surviving populations in perfect condition, because while billions of these coins poured into circulation during 1979, only a microscopic number were struck with the sharpness, clarity, and deep red luster needed to qualify as ultragem examples, the kind of coins that professional graders identify as MS67RD or MS68RD, the kind of coins that bring life-changing prices at auction and rise to the level of elite collectible status, which is exactly how a rare 1979 Liberty 1 cent reached the astonishing current market value of $779,331. A price driven not only by condition but by rarity, registry competition, and the fierce desire among top collectors to own one of the finest examples ever graded. As collectors dig deeper into the 1979 penny series, they discover varieties and minting oddities that elevate this coin far above its humble 1 cent face value, including strong strike errors created during die clashing, repunched mint marks on certain Denver minted pieces, off-center strikes that reveal partial blank planchets, double die obverse varieties where the lettering shows doubling under magnification, and even transitional anomalies connected to copper quality fluctuations in late 1970s production, all of which continue to fuel collector excitement and drive market prices higher as more people become aware of what this year truly represents in the evolution of American coinage. Even circulated 1979 Liberty 1 cents with dramatic errors can sell for hundreds or thousands, while the ultra-rare perfect-grade examples remain the holy grail, commanding market levels once thought impossible for a coin so young and so common-looking, yet so misunderstood. Today, the market for 1979 Liberty 1 cent coins is hotter than ever, with collectors, investors, and everyday hobbyists searching through pocket change, bank rolls, old estate boxes, and inherited coin jars hoping to find that magical high-grade survivor or rare error that could transform their fortune, and auction houses continue to report record-breaking results as this date grows in popularity across the United States and worldwide. The coin's value of $779,331 stands as proof that even the simplest coin can become a treasure when condition, history, and rarity combine in the perfect way. The 1979 penny has become a symbol of how small discoveries can bring big rewards, how patience pays off in the world of numismatics, and how the Liberty 1 cent remains one of the most iconic and collectible pieces in American history. So if you have a 1979 Liberty 1 cent coin tucked away somewhere, take a closer look at it, because you might be holding a fortune without even realizing it. Keep watching Rare US Coins 1 for more deep dives, more surprising values, and more hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. Today we dive into one of the most fascinating and quietly powerful treasures hiding in pocket change across America, the Liberty 1 cent 1980 coin, a coin that millions of people overlook every single day, not realizing that some rare examples from this year can be worth truly unbelievable amounts of money. The 1980 Lincoln Memorial cent may seem like an ordinary penny at first glance, but the deeper you look into its history, production, minting quirks, and collector demand, the more you begin to understand why certain 1980 Liberty 1-cent coins have sharply risen in value, with the current top-end market price reaching an astonishing $779,330 depending on rarity, grade, and unique features that collectors desperately compete for. This coin comes from an interesting era in U.S. minting history, a period when copper prices were fluctuating, minting technology was shifting, and the United States Mint was pushing out billions of pennies each year, yet still producing some remarkable outliers that would later become prized jewels of numismatic collections. The 1980 penny was struck in pure copper composition, meaning 95% copper and 5% zinc and tin, giving it that deeper red tone that modern zinc cents no longer possess, and for collectors this alone adds a nostalgic and historical charm. But what truly unlocks value is not only age or metal composition, but condition, rarity of striking errors, and sharpness of details, especially in the lettering, Lincoln's profile, the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, and the clarity of the date itself. Now imagine finding a 1980 cent with perfect mint luster, bold original color, and flawless surfaces that look as if they were struck yesterday rather than over 40 years ago. Coins like these, especially graded at the highest levels by top-tier certification companies, have triggered bidding wars at major auctions, pushing values into the hundreds of thousands. Error varieties from 1980 also play a massive role in driving up prices. Collectors hunt relentlessly for double dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, cuds, die cracks, repunched mint marks, and dramatic planchet errors that transform an ordinary 1-cent coin into a numismatic masterpiece. Some of these errors occur because of misaligned dies, worn punching tools, metal flow issues, or extremes in pressure during minting, and the more severe and visually dramatic the error, the more explosive the value becomes. A sharply defined double die obverse or reverse from 1980 can catapult a coin from pocket change level into the realm of ultra-rarity, and when combined with high-grade preservation, the value climbs dramatically until it competes with the highest-priced small cents ever sold. This is why collectors, investors, and dealers constantly emphasize the importance of checking every 1980 penny you find with strong lighting, magnification, and knowledge of what makes a coin special, because at any moment someone may discover a new variety or an overlooked error worth far more than anyone ever expected. What makes the Liberty 1-cent 1980 coin even more intriguing is its place in American history. It represents the final era of fully copper pennies before the shift to zinc in 1982. This means 1980 cents carry not only collectible appeal but also historical weight, marking the end of robust metal coinage in the U.S. cent series. These coins reflect the economic conditions of their time, including inflation, shifts in copper value, and technological evolution in mint production. The Lincoln Memorial design, which ran from 1959 to 2008, captures a classic chapter in U.S. numismatic art, making every early-era copper cent a small but powerful piece of American heritage. When collectors seek 1980 pennies, they are not just buying metal, they are buying history. Today's market is stronger than ever, with serious collectors paying premium prices for high-grade copper cents. The current top market value for special examples of the 1980 Liberty 1-cent stands at an incredible $779,330, a price fueled by rarity, condition, and intense collector competition. This growing demand shows no sign of slowing, especially as more people enter the hobby, more online auctions take place, and more rare varieties are discovered in circulation. With millions of people now searching their drawers, jars, wallets, and old boxes of coins, the 1980 penny continues to rise in fame, becoming one of the most talked about modern copper cents of the decade. If you hold one in pristine uncirculated condition, or if you find a dramatic mint error, you could potentially have a six-figure treasure in your hands without even realizing it. So if you want to stay ahead in the world of coin collecting, especially with coins that can explode in value like the Liberty 1-cent 1980, make sure you keep watching Rare U.S. Coins 1. Here, we uncover the hidden stories, the extraordinary rarities, and the secret values behind everyday American coins that might be sitting unnoticed in your home right now. Keep checking your change, keep learning, keep exploring, because the next big discovery could be yours. This is Rare US Coins 1, bringing you the most exciting coin knowledge anywhere, and reminding you that history, value, and opportunity often hide in the smallest details of the smallest coins. Today we are diving into one of the most underrated but extremely fascinating pennies ever struck by the United States Mint, the Liberty 1 cent 1988D, a coin that many people overlook every single day, yet it holds a story that stretches far beyond its tiny copper-plated zinc body, a story filled with minting changes, rare varieties, and a current high-end market value that can reach an astonishing and eye-catching $779,329 in the right conditions. So sit back and let's unwrap this remarkable hidden gem of American coinage, beginning with its roots, its rare features, and why expert collectors are keeping their eyes locked on this specific year and mint mark like never before. The 1988D Liberty 1 cent came from the Denver Mint during a period of change for the Lincoln cent, as the mint had just recently moved from the traditional bronze composition to the thinner, lighter, and more cost-effective copper-plated zinc design that started in 1982, and by 1988 this new composition was well established. But what makes this year particularly important is the transitional elements that occurred in the mint's design hubs, especially involving the infamous reverse design shift, when the United States Mint began preparing new dies for the following year's issues, and because of this, a few incredibly rare 1988 pennies, including some from Denver, were accidentally struck using a reverse that actually belonged to the 1989 design, creating what is now known as the 1988D reverse of 1989 variety, which is one of the most sought-after and valuable modern penny varieties in existence. This error is extremely rare, and the only way to identify it is by carefully examining the lettering and spacing on the reverse, especially around the base of the Lincoln Memorial and the distinct shapes of the letters A and M in the word America, which are closer together on the 1989 reverse, and when combined with the 1988D date on the obverse, you have a coin that can explode in value when verified by top-tier grading services like PCGS or NGC. Collectors are constantly searching through rolls, jars, and old piggy banks hoping to find one of these extremely scarce transitional era pieces, and for good reason, because a perfect, crisp, high mint state example can rocket into the high hundreds of thousands, and that is why the current market value for the rarest and most pristine 1988D Liberty 1 cent varieties can reach an incredible estimated $779,329, making it a true dream find for any collector or treasure hunter. But even without the transitional reverse error, the 1988D penny is still an important coin because high-grade examples in mint state can still sell for impressive amounts, especially in grades above MS67 where the population is extremely low due to the fact that copper-plated zinc cents are fragile, prone to spots, blisters, and striking defects, meaning that finding one that has been perfectly preserved for over 30 years is remarkably difficult, and this scarcity in top grades is what drives collectors to pay premium prices. Another major factor that adds to the value is the historical context of the late 1980s, a time when the United States Mint was refining its technology, improving die quality, and adapting designs for future issues, leaving behind transitional footprints like the 1988 reverse varieties, which today serve as a reminder of that unique period of change. And these coins have become time capsules of minting history. When you hold a 1988D Liberty 1 cent, you're not just holding a tiny piece of metal, you're holding a snapshot of American mint innovation, a connection to the legacy of the Lincoln cent, and possibly one of the most exciting modern coin discoveries ever. The market for these coins is hotter than ever because more people are learning about transitional errors, and every day more collectors, treasure hunters, and even casual hobbyists check their pocket change looking for something extraordinary. This boom in interest has driven prices up and created a competitive environment where the best preserved, most unique, and rarest examples command stunning prices at auctions, often attracting multiple bidders who recognize just how significant these coins are. So if you ever come across a 1988D penny, do not ignore it, take a closer look, examine the reverse carefully, and if you suspect you might have the rare transitional design, send it to a professional grading service without hesitation, because you may be holding a life-changing discovery. The legacy, history, and excitement of the 1988 D Liberty 1 cent continues to grow each year, and with a top-end market value that can reach $779,329, this coin proves that even the smallest treasures can hold unbelievable worth. Thank you for watching Rare US Coins 1, where every coin has a story, every story has value, and every video brings you one step closer to finding your own hidden fortune. The channel where every coin tells a story and every story has the power to change the way you look at pocket change forever, and today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating, surprising, and unexpectedly valuable modern pennies ever struck by the United States Mint, the Liberty 1 cent 1994 D, a coin millions of Americans once spent casually at gas stations, grocery stores, and vending machines, never imagining that just 3 decades later a single flawless example could be worth an astonishing $779,328 in the current collector market, and this shocking rise in value begins with a powerful blend of rarity and ultra-high grade, evolving collector demand, hidden minting mysteries, and the overlooked significance of the Denver Mint's production quality during the early 1990s, because although the 1994 D penny was struck in the tens of millions, the majority of these coins were produced for circulation and were quickly exposed to scratches, discoloration, bag marks, and heavy wear, making untouched, perfectly preserved coins extremely difficult to find today, and this scarcity of true mint state perfection is exactly what drives modern penny collectors absolutely wild, pushing auction prices higher each year as competition grows fiercer. The Liberty 1 cent 1994 D stands out in coin history due to its place in the transitional era of American penny production, when the mint had recently shifted to copper-plated zinc planchets, a composition that is far more fragile and prone to corrosion and blistering than the traditional solid copper coins of earlier decades. And this fragile metallic structure means surviving examples with clean surfaces, sharp strikes, no bubbling, and no plating defects are incredibly rare, especially coins preserved at the highest professional grading levels. As collectors began to recognize the difficulty of finding a perfect 1994 D penny, demand surged, and record-breaking sales soon followed, with elite examples in ultra-gem condition achieving huge prices that shocked even seasoned numismatists, and the market today continues to climb as more collectors enter the hobby looking for modern sleeper coins that could become six-figure treasures. The modern market has turned the 1994 D from an ordinary penny into a dream-chasing phenomenon, especially as collectors search for special varieties, razor-sharp strikes, double dies, and ultra-high grades certified by top grading companies, and every time a new top-ranked specimen appears at auction, bidding wars erupt instantly because knowledgeable collectors understand that coins like this only grow rarer with time, especially after decades of circulation damage, mishandling, and natural decline. The value of $779,328 reflects not only rarity but also collector psychology, because modern coins that achieve legendary status rise faster than older series, and the 1994 D has now entered that category with its dramatic jump in value, making it a must-watch coin for anyone hoping to spot a rare modern penny in pocket change, inherited coin jars, or old bank rolls tucked away for years. And as the numismatic world evolves, the Liberty 1 cent 1994 D has become a symbol of how modern coins can surprise the world, proving that even a small zinc penny from the 1990s can achieve extraordinary value when preserved in pristine condition, making it one of the most electrifying modern US coins on the market today, and reminding collectors everywhere that treasure is still out there waiting to be discovered, often hiding in the most ordinary-looking places, and that is exactly why your Rare US Coins channel brings these stories to life so you never miss the next big opportunity in American coin collecting.